The National Committee has diligently implemented General Secretary Xi Jinping's important directives and the CPC Central Committee's plans and requirements, completing all preparations for this session. The 14th CPPCC National Committee concluded the 15th session of its Standing Committee and approved drafts for the session agenda, schedule, Standing Committee work report, report on proposal submissions, and other documents. We now have everything ready. The fourth session of the 14th CPPCC National Committee will open tomorrow at 3:00 p.m. in the Great Hall of the People and close on the morning of March 11th, lasting 7 days, during which we will review our work since the third session and make arrangements for this year's work. Key agenda items include hearing and deliberating the Standing Committee work report and the report on proposal submissions, attending the fourth session of the 14th National People's Congress to hear and discuss the government work report and other reports, plus the draft outline of the 15th Five-Year Plan for National Economic and Social Development, and approving the political resolution for this session, resolutions on the Standing Committee work report, and the report on proposal submissions since the third session, and the report on proposal reviews for this session. For this session, there will be opening and closing meetings, plus 2 rounds of speeches at important meetings. So multiple sector-specific group meetings will occur at CPPCC members' places of residence, with some sectors also holding consultative meetings. Foreign diplomats in China will be invited to observe the opening and closing meetings. There will be 3 CPPCC member passage interview events. Interview rooms are set up at each place of residence for Chinese and foreign journalists. We will promptly release session arrangements, key documents, and relevant materials on the CPPCC Press Center website. Please stay tuned. Now I'm ready to take your questions about this session and the work of the CPPCC. Now the floor is open. Before raising your question, please identify your media affiliation. Please raise your hand as a signal.
好，请中区第一排这位站起来了，这位女记者提问。
好，谢谢主持人。发言人您好，中央广播电视总台记者。我的问题是，习近平总书记要求人民政协聚焦党和国家中心任务，履职尽责。那么，请问，2025年全国政协在坚持中国共产党对人民政协的全面领导，围绕中心大局、履职尽责方面都做了哪些工作呢？谢谢。
With China Media Group, General Secretary Xi Jinping has asked the CPPCC to fulfill its responsibilities with a focus on the central tasks of the party and the country. My question is, what has the CPPCC done in 2025 with regard to upholding the CPC's overall leadership over CPPCC work and fulfilling responsibilities to serve the central task of economic development and overall interests of the country?
Thank you for this question. In 2025, we at the CPPCC have upheld the overall leadership of the CPC, carefully implemented the guiding principles from the 20th CPC National Congress and the plenary sessions of the 20th CPC Central Committee, and implemented General Secretary Xi Jinping's important thinking on enhancing and improving the work of the CPPCC. We have focused on the central tasks and key issues, carried out effective consultations, and contributed good ideas to high-quality development, building extensive consensus and pooling wisdom and strength for Chinese modernization. First, upholding CPC leadership throughout our work and always keeping to the right political direction. Under the top of the agenda system, we promptly communicated and studied the guiding principles from General Secretary Xi Jinping's important speeches and directives and the decisions and arrangements of the CPC Central Committee. We refined the long-term mechanism for implementation in light of the CPPCC's work and saw to it that every one of them is implemented. We strictly followed the system of requesting instructions and submitting reports on major issues to the CPC Central Committee. We continued to equip ourselves with the CPC's new theories. The leading CPPCC members group of the National Committee and Chairperson's Council took the lead in studying theories. We organized book reading sessions, theory study sessions, and political training sessions for CPPCC members on a regular basis. Research have also been carried out on Xi Jinping thought on economy and the people-centered development philosophy, etc., which have helped members to appreciate the advanced nature of the CPC's new theories and maintain political commitment through understanding theories. We carried out study and education to thoroughly implement the Central Party leadership's 8-point decision on improving work conduct and made good progress in streamlining documents and meetings, improving research, and practicing economy. We have ensured good performance of duties with good work conduct. Second, focusing consultation on advancing Chinese modernization to inform democratic decision-making. We earnestly implemented the CPPCC's annual consultation plan focused on the strategic and forward-looking issues in Chinese modernization and high-quality development, and carried out consultation and deliberation sessions on formulating the 15th Five-Year Plan, further deepening economic institutional reform, developing new quality productive forces, expanding domestic demand across the board, deep integration of culture and technology, and exploring new ways to improve social governance. Members of the Chairperson's Council led the coordination in leveraging the strength of different sectors and conducted thematic researches on major issues like enhancing the resilience and security of the economy, promoting healthy and orderly development of AI, and advancing green and low-carbon transition, producing many insightful outcomes. We completed the democratic oversight on the implementation of the 14th Five-Year Plan as scheduled and contributed to the delivery of major decisions and arrangements of the CPC Central Committee. Third, conducting routine work with the spirit of reform and innovation and improve the quality of suggestions. Based on the principle of placing the quality of proposals above their quantity, we revised the regulation on proposal-related work and set out the criteria for a good proposal in terms of topic selection, content, and efficacy to improve the overall quality of proposals. We coordinated research and inspection tours, National Committee members maintaining close contact with people from the sectors they represent and fulfilling their duties effectively to serve the public. CPPCC members went to the grassroots to see the great achievements, reflect people's livelihood needs, and come up with policy suggestions. The CPPCC served as a direct channel for reflecting social conditions and public sentiment and submitted nearly 20,000 reports that concern people across the society, helping to inform the democratic decision-making of the party and government. We carried out activities like collecting, researching, and utilizing the record on tracing the origins of Chinese civilization and the first-hand accounts of the Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression to promote the great patriotic spirit and the great spirit of the Chinese people's war of resistance. We also carried out solid work regarding the spokesperson's meeting the press and publicity and communication to present from multiple perspectives the work outcomes of the members and build broad consensus for advancing the cause of the party and the country. Fourth, advancing strengthen capacity building in duty performance, and enhancing the effectiveness of the CPPCC as a specialized consultative body. We enhanced institutional building in the working mechanisms to better leverage the main role of members, the foundational role of special committees, and the unique role of sectors to improve the work of the CPPCC. We revised the regulations on consultation and refined the mechanisms for in-depth consultation and deliberation, full expression of opinions, and building extensive consensus. We further formulated opinions on leveraging the role of sectors to promote the dynamic and orderly work of the sectors. We convened 20 seminars with members from different sectors where we had face-to-face deliberations with over 500 members from 34 sectors. We also enhanced the building of CPPCC into a true home for National Committee members, a place of unity and democracy, and improved the service and management system for members' duty performance. As a result, members are more enthusiastic in performing their duties. Tomorrow afternoon, at the opening of the session, CPPCC National Committee Chairman Wang Huning will deliver the report on the CPPCC National Committee's work over the past year. You're welcome to follow that. Thank you.
请中区第3排这位戴眼镜、灰色西服的女记者提问。
谢谢主持人。人民日报记者提问：2025年是“十四五”规划收官之年，也是“十五”规划谋篇布局之年，请您介绍一下全国政协在助推高战完成“十四五”规划目标任务、编制“十五五”规划方面做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With People's Daily, in 2025, China successfully completed the 14th five-year plan and started drafting the 15th five-year plan. Could you share with us the CPPCC's contributions to meeting the goals and tasks set for the 14th five-year plan period and to the drafting of the 15th five-year plan?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for the question.
14.5以来，
Since the launch of the 14th five-year plan, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, China has made new major achievements in the undertakings of the party and the country. In the last 5 years, to implement the 14th five-year plan, the CPPCC National Committee carried out the following work. First, solid fact-finding and research activities, focusing on such major tasks laid out in the 14th five-year plan as developing a well-functioning socialist market economy, advancing rural revitalization, refining new urbanization strategy, improving regional economic structures, advancing socialist cultural development, green development, and further opening up, promoting well-rounded human development, improving people's well-being, and ensuring coordination in pursuing development and upholding security. The National Committee carried out in-depth over 90 in-depth research projects across different special committees and sectors led by chairpersons, council members, and over 400 inspections, field visits, and research tours. These efforts produced many high-quality research outcomes and provided decision-making references and intelligent support for the implementation of the plan. Second, high-quality consultation to offer suggestions. We ensure that consultation happens before decisions are made and in the course of implementation, with a focus on implementing the goals and the tasks of the 14th five-year plan, making breakthroughs in key areas and resolving bottlenecks and difficulties. The National Committee formulated the annual consultation plan and put it into practice. Revolving around integrating urban and rural development, protecting the environment, improving regional allocation of education and medical resources, building cultural confidence and strength at about 200 topics. Nearly 300 consultations and deliberations of various kinds were conducted, and over 100 proposals made and more than 100 reports submitted to boost decision-making and implementation. Third, wisdom and strength pooling. The mechanism of close contact between the National Committee's CPC members and non-CPC members, and between National Committee members and people from various sectors,
was improved. Through awareness-raising tours, committee member lectures, and reading activities, the National Committee brought policy analysis of the 14th Five-Year Plan to local communities, consolidated the shared theoretical and political foundation, and poured wisdom and strength from various sectors into the central tasks of the party and the country, and generated combined momentum toward accomplishing the goals and the tasks of the 14th Five-Year Plan. Through news reports of members fulfilling their duties and putting forward proposals, we saw living examples of members contributing to development during the 14th Five-Year Plan period. To help formulate the 15th Five-Year Plan was an important task of the CPPCC National Committee in 2025. The National Committee, keeping in mind key and decisive factors shaping economic and social development of the 15th Five-Year Plan period, major theoretical and practical issues to be addressed in advancing Chinese modernization, changing trends and patterns on the new journey, and forward-looking and pioneering strategic missions, has held subject-specific deliberative meetings of the Standing Committee and other consultations and deliberations to solicit opinions from the members, conducted multiple in-depth research and research on suggestions, put forward 480-plus proposals, and submitted over 200 reports. A column on suggestions for the 15th Five-Year Plan was launched in the CPPCC Research Journal, and 55 reports were presented to the leadership of the Party Central Committee and the State Council. These efforts have provided important references for the formulation of the 15th Five-Year Plan. Thank you.
好，请西区第一排过道这位记者进行提问。
谢谢主持人。发言人您好，经济日报记者提问：2025年，中国经济实现了5%的增长，经济社会发展主要目标任务完成。但舆论也关注外部不确定因素和国内供强虚弱等问题给中国经济发展带来的影响。请问您如何看待当前的经济形势和发展前景？全国政协围绕巩固经济稳中向好势头开展了哪些工作？谢谢。
With Economic Daily, in 2025, the Chinese economy recorded a 5% growth, and all the main targets set for economic and social development were met. That said, many are following the possible impact on the economy caused by external uncertainties and a strong domestic supply versus weak domestic demand. My question is, how do you see the Chinese economy and its outlook? What has the CPPCC done to help sustain the sound momentum of economic growth?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question.
过去一年，
Over the past
外部
year,
环境
amid
风高浪急，
a turbulent external environment,
顶压前行，
China's economy
向
has
西
pressed forward
向右发展，
despite pressure
展
and
现
advanced
强
toward
大
greater innovation and excellence,
经济总
demonstrating
量
strong resilience
迈
and
上
vitality.
140
The total
万亿新台币
economic output has crossed the new milestone of 140 trillion RMB yuan, with growth continuing to rank among the top of major
科技
global
与
economies.
产业深
The
度
deep
融合
integration of science, technology, and
创新成果
industry has driven
竞
a
相
surge
实现
of innovation
新质生
outcomes,
产力
with
拔节
new
成长
quality productive
这次
forces growing
史上最
vigorously.
长春节假
This
期，
longest ever
餐饮
Spring Festival
游乐
holiday
商场
saw
人
bustling
气旺
crowds
盛
in dining,
国内
entertainment,
游
and
客
shopping
出游
venues.
总消费
Domestic
超过
tourism consumption exceeded
8,034
803.4 billion yuan,
增
up
加
126.4 billion yuan
彰
from the
显
previous year,
超大市场
highlighting the vibrancy
蓬勃生
of China's supersized market.
春运全社
The
会
Spring
跨区域
Festival
人员流动
travel
量
rush
预
is
计
projected to
将
register
达95亿，
9.5 billion
相当于
cross
全球
regional passenger
人均出
trips
行
that
一
amounts
次以
to
上
more than one trip
照
per
见
person
流动
worldwide,
中国
illustrating
澎湃活
China's
力
great
我国
mobility
经
and
济
surging
从
dynamism.
来都是在
China's
披荆
economy
斩
has
棘
always
中
forged
一路
ahead
前行
through thorns
在
and
风雨
brambles
洗礼中
and grown
成长壮
stronger
大
through wind
虽然
and
还面
rain.
临一些
While
问题
there are still some
新
old
挑战
issues and new
但基
challenges,
础
the
稳
Chinese economy
优势多
enjoys solid
韧性
fundamentals,
强
plentiful
潜能大
strengths, strong
长期
resilience,
向
and
好
vast
的
potential.
支撑条
The
件
supporting
和基本
conditions and
趋势
overall
没
long-term
有变化
positive trend remain
只要
unchanged.
我们坚定
As
信
long as
心
we stay
用好
confident,
优势
leverage
应对
our
挑战
strengths, and address challenges effectively, we will be able to consolidate and expand the momentum of stable and improving performance and propel China's economy to break through waves and realize steady, far-reaching progress. In 2025, the National Committee implemented the decisions and plans of the CPC Central Committee. We deepened research on major theoretical and practical issues in economic and social development by holding quarterly seminars on macroeconomic landscape analysis to assess economic trends, identify emerging and directional problems, and provide advisory input to relevant departments for better grasping the situation and formulating policies. So this is about improving the effectiveness of macroeconomic governance and building a modern industrial system and developing a strong domestic market. We organized inspections and research tools and special research projects. We offered practical measures and some proposals to advance high-quality development. Focusing on new developments and issues in reform and opening up, we leveraged various consultative platforms to conduct in-depth discussions and pour wisdom on advancing the development of a unified national market, promoting high-quality development of the private economy, cultivating and expanding emerging industries, and making forward-looking arrangements for industries of the future. In doing so, we provided references for relevant decision-making, focusing on bolstering confidence in future development and rallying hearts and minds. We encouraged and supported CPPCC members to publish interpretive articles in mainstream media around major meetings and key policy rollouts. We also urged them to engage directly with people in their sectors and with private enterprises to explain policies, address concerns, stabilize expectations, strengthen confidence, and pull strength, so as to translate the CPC Central Committee's plans into concrete actions for high-quality development. Thank you.
现在继续提问，请东区第二排靠过道这位记者提问。对，就是这位。
发言人您好，我是科技日报记者。去年3月，习近平总书记在看望参加全国两会的民盟、民进、教育界委员时，要求政协委员更好支持参与教育、科技、人才、体制机制一体改革和发展的实践，为提升国家创新体系整体效能贡献智慧和力量。前面发言人，全国政协在抓好贯彻落实中做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With Science and Technology Daily. During last year's 2 sessions, General Secretary Xi Jinping called on CPPCC members to better support and take part in the integrated reform and development in education, science, technology, and talent, and contribute their wisdom and strength for greater efficacy of the country's innovation system, when he visited members from the China Democratic League, the China Association for Promoting Democracy, and the sector of education. My question is, what has the CPPCC done to deliver on this front?
Thank you for this question. On March the 6th last year, General Secretary Xi Jinping visited members from the China Democratic League, the China Association for Promoting Democracy, and the education sector, participating in the 3rd session of the 14th CPPCC National Committee and attended the joint sessions. He had deep discussions with members on state affairs, and this reflects the great importance that General Secretary Xi Jinping attaches to work on education, science and technology, and talent, and his deep care for CPPCC members. It has pointed the way forward and built strength for building a country strong in education, science and technology, and talent. It has strongly boosted the morale among CPPCC members. The CPPCC National Committee has earnestly studied and implemented the guiding principles from General Secretary Xi Jinping's important remarks, centering on the key tasks of the integrated institutional reforms of education, science and technology, and talent. We have organized research and inspection tours and consultation and deliberation sessions, submitted 103 related proposals, and put forth 65 reports on social conditions and public opinions that have been adopted. Many opinions and suggestions have been tabled, including on forward-looking placement of education resources, speeding up the development of world-class disciplines, boosting sci-tech innovation, improving the mechanisms for nurturing homegrown talents, and promoting integrated development of education, science and technology, and talent. All these have helped to inform decision-making. CPPCC members from the education sector and the technology sector have, based on their roles, leveraged their professional expertise, taken on major research tasks of core technologies, explored new ways in integrating industry, research, and education, made pioneering efforts in reforming the models of talent cultivation, and exploring new evaluation mechanisms, built consensus, and unleashed vitality in disseminating science and technology, and nurturing a culture of innovation, contributing their strength to the high-quality development of education, science and technology, and talent. Thank you.
现在继续提问。好，请中区第3排过道起来的第2位，刚才那位对记者，那个男记者。
Thank you.
请您提。
My name is Cyril Balde. I'm from Vision Guinea in West Africa. Poverty has long been a scourge of humanity and issue of wide concern in the international community. China eradicated poverty in 2020. My question is, what can the world learn from Chinese experience and practices of poverty reduction? What has the CPCC done to help increase the income of those lifted out of poverty? Thank you.
几内亚观点网记者：贫困是人类社会久攻不下的顽疾，也是国际社会广泛关注的话题。2020年，中国实现贫困人口全部脱贫。请问发言人，中国对全球减贫事业有什么可供借鉴的经验和做法？全国政协在助力中国脱贫人口致富增收方面做了哪些工作？
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for the question.
2020年，
In 2020,
中国
China
脱贫攻
secured
坚的
a
全面
complete
胜利，
victory in the fight
历
against
史
the
性
poverty,
解决
resolving
困扰
the
中华
millennial-old
民族
problem
几
of
千年
absolute
的绝
poverty
对贫
in
困问题，
China once and for all,
创造出彪炳史
and
册的
creating a
人间奇
miracle
迹。
that will be etched in
国际
history
社会
as a landmark.
予以高度
The
赞誉，
international community
称赞中
speaks
国
highly of
为
this
全球
achievement
减贫
and
做
hails
出
it as the
最大
biggest
贡献，
contribution to
树
global
立
poverty
令人
reduction
鼓舞的
and
榜
an
样。
encouraging example.
5年来，
In 5
中国
years,
脱贫地区
in regions that
县
has
县
been
通
lifted
高
out of
速，
poverty,
村
highways
村
connect
通
every
公路，
county, paved
网络
roads
信号
reach every
全覆
village,
盖，
and the network
山
signals
乡
cover
巨变
every corner.
换了
A
人间。
tremendous transformation has
牢牢
turned
守住
these once
不
impoverished
发生
areas
规模性
into
返
a whole
贫
new
致贫
world.
底线，
China has
乡村
forestalled
全面
any
振兴，
large-scale
取得
backsliding
明显
into
进展。
poverty and made notable
中国
progress
脱贫
in
攻坚
all-round
成果
rural
经受住
revitalization.
了实践
China's
和
poverty
历史的
alleviation
检验，
achievements have
向世界
withstood the
有
test
力
of
证明
reality and history
贫困
and
并
sent
非
a strong
不可战
message
胜。
to the world that
中
poverty
国
is
脱
not
贫攻坚
invincible.
取得举
These
世瞩目
remarkable
的成就，
achievements
靠的是
would not have
中
been
国共
possible
产党的
without
坚
the
强领
strong
导，
leadership of
靠
the
的是
CPC,
中华民族
the
自
Chinese
力更生、
people's
艰苦奋
self-reliance
斗的精
and
神品
hard
质，
work.
靠的是新中国成
The
立以
solid
来，特
material
别是改革
foundations
开放以
laid
来
down
积
since the
累的
founding of the
坚实物
PRC
质基础，
and particularly
靠
since
的
the launch
是
of
一
reform
任
and
接着
opening up,
一任干的
the
坚守
perseverance
执
and the
着，
persistence
靠
of
的
one government
是
official
全党
after
全国
another,
各族人民
and
的
the
团
concerted
结奋
efforts
斗，
of the whole party
走出了一
and the
条
entire
中
nation.
国特色
China
减贫道
pioneered
路
a。uniquely Chinese path
中
to
国
poverty
是国际减
alleviation.
贫事业的坚
China
定倡导
firmly
者、
advocates,
推动者和
promotes,
贡献者，
contributes to,
积极参与
and
国际
participates
减贫
in
合
global
作，
poverty reduction
履行
cause,
国际减
and
贫
fulfills
责任，
its
为发展
responsibility
中国
in
家
global poverty
提供
reduction,
力所能及
and
的
provides
帮助。
help to fellow developing
例如，
countries
与
to the best
150
of
多
its
个国家、
capability.
数
For
十个
example,
国际
China
组
has
织
signed Belt and
签
Road
署
Cooperation
共建
documents
一带一路
with
合
more
作
than
文件，
150
一
countries
大
and
批
dozens
标
of
志性
international
项目
organizations.
落地，
A large
生
number
根，
of signature
不
projects
仅
have
促
been
进当
successfully
地经济
implemented,
发展，
a boost
还
to
创
local
造了
economy
大量就业
and
机会。
employment.
在 亚非欧地区国家
Over
设立30多个
30
鲁班
Luban
工厂。
workshops have been set
这
up
位
in
记者朋
countries
友
of Asia,
所在
Africa,
的
and
非洲地
Europe.
区就
In
有
Africa,
17
where
个，
this journalist is
为
from,
当地
they are
培养
17.
了经济社
These
会发展
workshops
所
have
需的
trained
技术
technical
技能
talents
人才，
needed in local social and
在
economic
100多个国
development.
家推广菌草技术，
Junzao technology for
帮扶
mushroom
贫
farming
困民
has been
众
promoted
脱
in
贫
over
致富，
100 countries to
邀
help
请
the
一些
poor
发展中
shake
国
off
家相关
poverty.
人员
We have
来
invited
中国
relevant
体
personnel
验
from
新
developing
农村建
countries
设、
to
交
China
流
to see its
乡村
efforts
治
of
理、
building a new
产业发
countryside,
展等领
to
域
discuss
成
successful
功经验
experience and
与
effective
有效做
practices
法，
on
为
countryside
他们
governance and
探
industrial
索
development,
符合本国
providing
国
useful
情的
references
减
to
贫
their
之路，
exploration
提供
of a poverty
有益
reduction
参考。
path suited to national
全国
realities.
政协紧扣
The
中共
National
中央
Committee
持
has
续
kept
巩固
close to the
脱
decisions
贫攻
made
坚
by the
成果的
CPC
决
Central
策部署，
Committee of continuing
围绕
consolidating the
统
poverty
筹建立
alleviation
常态
outcomes,
化防止
centered
返
around
贫致贫机
topics
制，
like establishing regular
促进
mechanisms
脱
for
贫群
preventing
众
rural
就业
residents
增收，
from lapsing or relapsing
健
into
全
poverty,
乡村可持
creating
续发
jobs
展
and
长效机制
increasing
等议题，
incomes for those
开
lifted
展
out of
专
poverty,
题调研，
improving long-term
提出
mechanisms
了
for sustainable
完善
development in the
防止
countryside.
返
The
贫
National
动态
Committee
监
has
测，
carried out
提升
subject-specific
产
research
业
and come
和
up
就
with
业
practical
帮扶
suggestions
实
like
效
better dynamic
分
monitoring
层
to
分类
prevent relapse
帮
into
扶
poverty,
欠发达地
more
区等
effective
务实建
assistance
议，
for industries and
助力激
employment,
发乡村
multi-tiered
振兴，
categorized assistance
内生
for
动力，
underdeveloped
构建
areas.
现
These
代乡村
suggestions have
产业
helped
体
release
系，
the internal
建
impetus
设
for rural
宜居
revitalization,
宜业
develop a
和美
modern
乡
industrial
村。
system in the countryside,
政
and
协委
build a
员
beautiful and
各展
harmonious
所长，
countryside for
积
people
极
to
投
live
身
and work in.
巩固
The
拓展
CPPCC members
脱贫攻坚
have
成果
played
和
to
推
their
进
strength and
乡村
dedicated
全面
themselves
振
to
兴实践，
consolidating and
开
expanding
展
poverty
习
alleviation
近平总
outcomes
书记
and
关
promoting
于
all-round
扶
rural
贫脱
revitalization.
贫工作的
Research
重要
has been
论述
conducted
专
into
题研究，
General Secretary Xi
助力
Jinping's
构建
important
中
statements
国特色
about poverty
反贫
alleviation
困
to help
理论
build
学
an
术体
academic
系
and a discourse
话
system
语体系，
of Chinese anti-poverty
深耕
theories.
三农工作一
Intense
线，
efforts have been
为
made on
群
the
众
front lines of
传
work
技术、
related to agriculture,
联资
rural
源、
areas,
解
and
难题，
rural residents to
为
share
乡村
expertise,
发展
mobilize
建言
resources,
献
solve
策。
problems, and
通过
contribute
政协
ideas
对
to
外交
rural
往活动，
development.
讲
The
好中国脱
CPPCC
贫
foreign
攻坚
exchange
故事，
activities have been
与
held
世界
to
分享
communicate
减贫
Chinese
经验。
stories and experience of poverty
减
alleviation
贫
to the
是
world.
世界难题，
Poverty reduction is
千
a
年难
centuries-old challenge
中
shared
国
by all
愿意同
nations.
世界各国
China is ready
携
to
手
join
共建
hands
摆
with
脱
countries
贫困
across the
共
world
同发
to
展
build a
人
community
类
with a
命运
shared
共同
future
体
for humanity,
持续
where poverty
为
is
世界
left
减
behind
贫事
and
业
development
做贡
shared
献
by all, and keep contributing to global poverty reduction cause. Thank
现
you.
在继续提问。好，请第一排这位记者提问。
谢谢主持人。发言人您好，新华社记者提问。据了解，近年来呢，全国政协围绕持续优化营商环境、加强黑土地保护、加快推进社会适老化改造等重点任务，连续5年开展专项民主监督。请介绍全国政协在推动民主监督精准发力方面的做法。谢谢。
With Xinhua News Agency, for 5 years running, the CPPCC has conducted special democratic oversight on key tasks such as improving the business environment, black soil protection, and the building of a more elderly-friendly society. Could you share with us the measures that have been taken for exercising targeted democratic oversight?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your
民
question.
主监督
Democratic
是人民政
oversight
协的主要职能
is a
之
key
一，
part of the
是社会
CPPCC's
主义
job.
监督体
It is
系
an
的
important
重要
component of the socialist oversight
是社会
system
主义协商民
and
主的
a crucial way for realizing socialist consultative
政协民主
democracy.
监督是协商式
CPPCC
监督
democratic oversight
聚
is
焦
consultative
国
in
之大
nature,
者
focusing
和
on
民之
major
关切
national priorities
重在
and public
与相
concerns.
关职能部
It is
门
about
同
working
向发力
collaboratively with relevant
同体
functional departments
共达
toward common
积
goals
极
and
助推
jointly addressing
中共中
issues.
央决
We
策
do
部
this
署
to
落地
contribute to the
见
effective
效
implementation of the
围绕
decisions
5
and
年规
plans
划
of the
落
CPC
实开
Central
展专项
Committee.
监督是全
Conducting
国政
special
协民
oversight
主
on the
监督的
implementation of the
重要
five-year plans is one of the key forms of democratic oversight by the National Committee. Over the past 5 years, the 10 special committees each selected highlighted important issues in the implementation of the 14th Five-Year Plan and carried out consistent 5-year-long special democratic oversight that spanned 2 terms of the committee. A total of 779 national committee members participated in these 10 special oversight programs, putting forward 323 oversight opinions that helped advance the implementation of the 14th Five-Year Plan. First, focusing on key content and links for the sound and effective implementation of CPC Central Committee decisions and plans. We conducted in-depth democratic oversight on topics such as improving the business environment, advancing rural development, strengthening black soil protection, promoting the integration of sports and education, and building urban-rural public cultural service systems. Oversized opinions were submitted to relevant departments through reports, proposals, and information on social conditions and public sentiment. Leading officials from relevant departments were invited to various consultative meetings. We followed up on the handling of oversight opinions and provided timely feedback to CPPCC members in this way. We formed a closed-loop process featuring research, opinions, handling, and feedback, helping ensure CPC Central Committee decisions take effect and deliver. Second, improving institutions and mechanisms to make democratic oversight more institutional, standardized, and procedure-based. We formulated guidelines on strengthening and improving democratic oversight, effectively executed the annual democratic oversight plan approved by the CPC Central Committee, and kept leveraging mechanisms such as regular progress reports to the Chairperson's Council and annual reporting to the CPC Central Committee, ensuring oversight is conducted vigorously, orderly, and effectively. Third, actively exploring new approach to improve the quality and effectiveness of CPPCC democratic oversight. We recommended 217 national committee members to serve as special supervisors for departments including the National Commission of Supervision, Supreme People's Court, and Ministry of Public Security. We developed measures to ensure sound coordination with specialized supervision conducted by disciplinary inspection and supervision authorities, and explored establishing mechanisms for democratic oversight information sharing. We conducted joint democratic oversight with central committees of other political parties to combine efforts to produce high-quality outcomes. Going forward, the National Committee will continue effective practices from the 14th Five-Year Plan period and carry out in-depth consultative oversight by focusing on major topics in implementing the 15th Five-Year Plan, so as to contribute wisdom and strength to ensure the CPC Central Committee decisions take root and deliver results. Thank you.
好，请西区第4排靠过道这位男记者提问。
谢谢主持人。光明日报记者提问：提案工作是人民政协履行职能的重要方式，请问全国政协在提升提案质量、增强办理时效、强化督办监督和协商方面有哪些有益的探索和创新？谢谢。
With Guangming Daily, proposal submission is an important channel for the CPPCC to discharge its duties. Could you share with us the new explorations and approaches that the CPPCC has adopted to come up with more constructive proposals, to handle proposals more effectively, and to have better implementation and consultation?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for this question.
提案工作
Indeed, proposal-related work is an overarching work of the CPPCC. Making proposals is an important way for the CPPCC to perform its duties and a good example of China's whole process people's democracy. In 2025, the CPPCC National Committee did some useful exploration and innovation in improving proposal-related work, and achieved notable results in terms of proposal making, handling, and oversight. In terms of submitting good proposals, we have enhanced our political awareness, strengthened theoretical understanding, improved arrangements to better inform members, and used various means to help proposal makers learn about the dynamics in a timely and accurate manner, grasp the laws of development, and come up with pertinent and relevant proposals on state affairs and people's concerns. For instance, in comprehensively deepening reform, proposals were submitted on promoting the institutional opening up of standards and integrated reform of digital and intelligent technology and talents. In fostering new quality productive forces, proposals were made on advancing business-led deep integration of industry, universities, and research institutes, on building regional sci-tech innovation centers, and on researching and developing vertical industry-specific large models. On the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance and the World Anti-Fascist War, proposals were made on better protecting and utilizing the revolutionary heritage of the Northeast United Resistance Army and on promoting the correct view of World War II history. These proposals accurately reflected the situation and contained in-depth analyses and concrete suggestions. They are selected as the annual good proposals of the CPPCC in 2025. In terms of handling the proposals well, the departments responsible attach high importance to proposal handling, actively consulted and discussed with CPPCC members, worked to convert the proposal suggestions into practical measures to make decision-making more sound and democratic. Well, let me give you an example. In response to the issue of teenagers' eyesight and overall fitness, which is of great concern to the public, a proposal was made on improving the fitness and health of teenagers. It is transferred to responsible agencies after due process and designated as a key proposal. After receiving this proposal, the handling department had many rounds of consultation with the members making the proposal and took in the suggestions in the proposal as they formulate the 20 measures to enhance the fitness and health of students. This proposal has played an important role in promoting the integration and coordinated development of moral, intellectual, physical, aesthetic, and labor education, and we have many more examples like this. In terms of enhancing oversight, we have a mechanism whereby the Chairperson's Council reviews and determines the key proposals, members of the Chairperson's Council lead in overseeing the key proposals, and the Chairperson's Council hears the report on the oversight of the implementation of the key proposals. The oversight on the implementation of proposals was integrated with the consultation and deliberation sessions, the research and inspection tours, proposal handling consultations, and the visiting handling departments over 300 proposals with key topics, and 700 other proposals were handled under oversight, which increased the quality and efficiency of proposal handling. Thank you.
请东区第3排这位外国记者提问。
谢谢主持人，发言人你好，我是中澳卫视记者比诺。去年底，海南自由贸易港卷岛广泛，引发全世界广泛关注。请问，这将为全球贸易和投资自由便利化提供哪些新的机遇？全国政协为中国扩大高水平对外开放做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With China Arab TV. At the end of last year, the Hainan Free Trade Port started its island-wide special customs operation, which has drawn wide attention. My question is, what new opportunities will this provide for global trade and trade liberalization and facilitation? What has the CPPCC done to contribute to China's high standard opening up?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question.
海南自由
The
贸易
launch
港
of the
全岛
island-wide
封关
special
是
customs
我国
operation in Hainan
坚
Free
定不
Trade
移
Port
扩大
is a
高
landmark
水平
step
对外
China
开
has
放，
taken as part of its
推动
unwavering
建设
commitment
开
to
放型
expanding
世
high-standard
界经济的
opening up
标志
and
性
building
举措。
an open world
封关
economy.
后的
The
海南
Hainan
自贸港
FTP, following
贸
the
易
special
自由
customs
化便利化
operation,
水平
has seen a
明显
notable
提升，
increase in trade
与国际的联
liberalization
系
and
更
facilitation
加便捷。
and has become more
春
connected
节假期
internationally.
海
During
南
the
离
Spring
岛免
Festival,
税购物
its
金额
off-island duty-free
比去年
spending
春节增长
increased by
30.8%，
30.8% compared with the same period last year, and the number of visa-free foreign tourists grew by 75.6%. The results are clear. Goods flow freely and people travel easily.
自贸港封关运作是中
The
国
launch of
稳
the
步
special
扩大
customs
规
operation
则
is a
规
new
制
exploration
管
in
理
steadily
标
expanding
准
institutional
等制度
opening
性
up
开放
with
的
regard
新
to
态势
rules,
标
regulations,
志着
management, and
中国
standards,
将改革
and shows
开放
China's
进行
firm
到底的
resolve
坚
in
定决心。
carrying reform and
中
opening
国
up to
始
the
终
end.
坚持对外
China
开放
always
的基
pursues
本国
the
策，
basic state policy
开
of
放的大
opening up.
门不会
Its
关
door
闭，
to the world
只
will
会
not
越开越
close.
大。
It will only open wider and
全国政
wider.
协长
The
期关注
CPPCC
和服
National
务
Committee
我国
has
对外
long
开放
followed
事
and
业。
contributed to
过
China's
去一
opening
年
up.
为扩
Over the
大
past year,
高水平
it has
对外
played
开
an
放
active role
积
in
极
deliberations to offer
议政
suggestions
建言
on expanding high
凝心
standard
致
opening
力
up and
围
poured
绕
the strength
建
and
设
will of the
更
people
高水
on
平
topics
开
like
放型
developing
经济
new
新体制
institutions for a higher
健
standard
全
open
对
economy,
外投资管理
improving
服
the
务体
outbound
系
investment
西
management
部
service
陆海
system,
新通道建设
developing
等
the new
深
international
入
land sea trade
考察调
corridor.
研
The National
形成
Committee
高质量
conducted
研究报告，
field visits and
为
research
推
tours
动
with high
外贸
quality
体制
research
增效
reports, which
畅通
provided
国
decision-making
内国
references
际
for
双
upgrading
环
foreign
提
trade
供
and
决策参
keeping
考，
domestic and
邀
international
请外国
circulations
智库
smooth. It
机构
invited
代表团
delegations
访
from
华，
foreign
增进
think
其
tanks
对
and
中国
institutes
式
to
现代
China
化的
to help
了
them
解
better
认
understand
知，
Chinese
让世
modernization
界
and see
看到
the
与
vast
中国
space
合作的
of
广
cooperation
阔空间。
with China.
委员们在
The
对外交往活
CPPCC
动中
members during foreign
交
exchange
流分享
activities shared
中外
stories
合
of
作
China
共赢
and other countries
彼此
pursuing
成
win-win
就的
cooperation
故事，
and helping each
助
other
力
succeed.
扩大中国
Their
开
efforts
放
have
合
helped
作
China expand its
互
global
惠
network of
互利的
friends, featuring
全球
openness,
朋友圈。
cooperation, and mutual
中
benefit.
国将坚定不移
China will
扩
firmly
大高水
expand
平对外
high
开放，
standard opening up,
促进贸易
promote
和投资
trade and
自由化便
investment
利化，
liberalization and
为全球发
facilitation,
展注入
inject
更
more
多正
positive
能量
energy
和
and
确定性，
certainty into global
共享
development,
发展
share
机遇，
development opportunities,
共创
and
美好
jointly
未来。
create a better future. Thank you.
现在继续提问。好，请中区第4排西起第3位穿白衣服的女记者提问。
感谢主持人，发言人您好，中国青年报提问。去年，西藏自治区、新疆维吾尔自治区分别迎来了成立60周年和70周年大庆。我们注意到，全国政协开展了委员促三交等系列活动，联合各民主党派和工商联开展了调研，面向民族地区的基层群众开展了系列活动。请发言人介绍全国政协在服务推进中华民族共同体建设方面都有什么举措，做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With China Youth Daily. Last year, Xizang Autonomous Region and Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region celebrated the 60th and 70th anniversary of its founding, respectively. Under the theme of CPPCC members promoting interactions, exchanges, and integration among ethnic groups, the CPPCC National Committee carried out research and inspection tours with non-CPC political parties and the All China Federations of Industry and Commerce, as well as activities for areas with large ethnic minority populations. Could you share with us what has the CPPCC done to help forge a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question.
2025年
Last year, General Secretary Xi Jinping personally led the central delegation to attend the celebrations marking the 60th anniversary of the founding of the Xizang Autonomous Region and the 70th anniversary of the founding of the Xizang Uyghur Autonomous Region. The first time in the history of the party and the country that a General Secretary has done so for these events. General Secretary Xi Jinping attaches great importance to work in Xinjiang and Xizang. He shows deep care for people of all ethnic groups there and inspires and encourages them to work closely as one for shared prosperity and development so as to advance community building of the Chinese nation and jointly write a new chapter in Chinese modernization. Over the past year, the National Committee has thoroughly implemented General Secretary Xi Jinping's important thinking on strengthening and improving ethnic work. We stayed focused on ethnic affairs and fulfilled our responsibilities by offering suggestions for community building of the Chinese nation. We conducted research on key issues in community building and put forward proposals such as strengthening theoretical research on the history of the Chinese nation and community building efforts, as well as improving relevant institutions and mechanisms and the system of laws and regulations. Relevant departments have responded that these suggestions will be fully incorporated into the formulation of special plans for the 15th Five-Year Plan. We published articles including improving institutions and mechanisms for forging a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation and forging a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation to open a new frontier in adapting Marxist ethnic theory to the Chinese context and the needs of the times, helping to provide academic and systematic elaboration and development of the party's ethnic theory in the new era. We carried out research on multiple issues worthy of attention for socio-economic development in ethnic minority areas during the 15th Five-Year Plan period, and offered proposals on developing industries with distinctive advantages and coordinating economic growth with environmental protection, so as to help ethnic minority regions better integrate into the new development paradigm. We held in-depth consultations and deliberations on topics such as harnessing the power of cultural and museum undertakings to forge a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation. The General Office of the National Committee participated in hosting the exhibition of outstanding artworks from Xinjiang and Xizang, using fine artworks to celebrate the impressive achievements of the party's ethnic work and showcase the grand momentum of all ethnic groups working hard as one. All 56 ethnic groups in China are represented by National Committee members. We have fully leveraged this advantage by actively carrying out activities under the theme of CPPCC members, promoting interactions, exchanges, and integration among ethnic groups. These activities combined inspections, field visits, and research tools with face-to-face discussions with community-level officials and ordinary people. Through them, we explained the party's ethnic policies, made tangible and effective work to heighten the sense of national identity, and deepened the shared understanding that all ethnic groups are bound by blood ties, share common beliefs, and culturally interconnected, economically interdependent, and emotionally close. In 2026, the National Committee will continue in-depth research on major strategic issues in the ethnic affairs domain, strengthen ideological and political guidance, and actively rally hearts and minds to forge a strong sense of community for the Chinese nation and advance community building of the Chinese nation. Thank you.
现在继续提问。请中区第4排东起第4位记者提问。
谢谢主持人，发言人您好，发言人您好，人民政协报全媒体记者提问。坚持人民政协为人民是新时代人民政协工作的根本价值取向。全国政协2025年持续推进委员履职服务为民活动，各专委会都有品牌服务，如送科技下基层、卫生下3乡等。请发言人介绍委员履职服务为民的做法和故事。谢谢。
With CPPCC Daily, to ensure that the CPPCC serves the people is the fundamental principle guiding the CPPCC's work in the new era. In 2025, CPPCC members continued to host activities under the theme of better services for the people, with the participation of all special committees, including outreach programs on science, technology, and health for local communities. Could you share with us more work that has been done to deliver better services for the people?
谢谢你的提
Thank you for the question.
委员履职服务为民活
The
动
activity of
是
delivering
14
better
届全
services
国
for
政
the
协
people is
践
a
行
new
以人民
measure
为中
taken
心
by
的
the
发展思
14th
想
CPPCC National
和
Committee
人民
to
政
apply
协
the
为人民
people-centered
理念
development
一项
philosophy
创
and
新
to
举措
ensure that the
自
CPPCC truly
2023
serves
年
the
创
people.
设以来
Since its
累
launch
计
in
开展活动
2023,
1.5
more
万多项
than 15,000
去年
activities have
就
been
开展
carried out,
6000余项
including
广大政协委员
over 6,000
立
from
足
last
实
year.
际
The
发挥
CPPCC
优势
members
深
leveraged
入
their
基层
strength
群
and
众
reached out
界别
to the
群众
grassroots and people
积
from
极
different
宣传
sectors,
解读
actively
党和政
communicated
府
the
政策措
policy
施
measures of the party
凝
and
聚
government,
界别群
built
众共识
consensus from the
推
sectors,
动解
and
决
worked
群
to
众
address
急难愁盼问题
people's
为
concerns.
大家的
These
蒸蒸日
efforts
上
have
小
contributed
家的
to the
热气
prosperity of
腾
the
腾
country
贡献力量
and of ordinary people.
2025年
In
我们健全
2025,
制度机
we
制
improved the
细化
institution
实
and
施方
mechanism,
案
refined
加
the
强
implementation
服务
plan,
保障
and
委
stepped
员
up
履职
services
服
to
务
further
为民活
advance
动
the better
持续
services for the
深化
people activities.
委员们依托
With
科普万里
outreach
行
programs on science,
卫生三
technology,
下乡
and
送文
health
化下基层等活
and
动
culture for local
走进
communities,
农田
the
牧区
CPPCC
厂
members
矿车
visited
间
the farmlands,
开展
pastoral
农技培
areas,
训
minefields, and
荒
factory
漠
floors
化
to
防治
provide
科普
training on
帮助
agricultural
外贸企
technology,
业解决实
disseminate
际困难
knowledge on desertification
深
prevention
入
and control,
乡
and help
村社
foreign
区
businesses solve
高
problems.
原边塞
They visited
培训
villages
基层
and
医务人
communities
员
and plateau and
举
border
办
areas to
慢
help
病
train
防治讲
primary
座
level
开
medical
展儿
staff,
童
give
先
lectures
心
on
病
the
筛
prevention
查
and treatment of
积极
chronic
参加
diseases, and
政
do
协委
screening
员
for
勤
congenital
暖
heart
百家
disease in
灾
children.
后重建
They
志愿
also
服务
played
活
an
动
active
走
role
访
to help
残
the
障人
disabled
士
and
受
contribute
灾
to
群众
post-disaster
帮助解
reconstruction,
决
visiting the
实际困难
disabled and disaster-stricken locals
政
to
协委
help
员
solve
履
real
职服务为
problems.
民与增进
The
人
delivering
民
better
福祉
services for the people
同频共
activities
振
have truly helped
去
to
年
increase people's
全国政协委
well-being.
员反映的
Among
社
the
经意义信息中
reports
仅就
submitted by
业
CPPCC
社会
members
保
last
障
year, more
医
than
疗卫生生育教育养老等领域的
More than
就有3000多篇
3,000
助推
are about
人民
employment,
群众
social
最
security,
关心
healthcare, birth and
最
child
直
care,
接最
education,
现
and
实
elderly
利益
care.
问题
They
的
have been
有效解决
instrumental in addressing the
履
issues
职为
that
民
are high on
永远
people's
在
minds.
路上
Delivering
广大委
better
员
services for the
将继
people
续
is an ongoing
深入
process that will
群
never
众
end.
倾
The
听民
CPPCC
生
members will
反
continue
映
to
民
reach
意
out to the people to listen to
排
people's
忧解难
concerns,
凝
solve
聚共识
problems, and build
把这项
consensus
工作
in an
做得
effort
更好
to deliver
更
even
实
better
更深入
services
谢
to
谢
the people. Thank you.
现在继续提问。好，请西区第4排东起第3位，穿粉色衣服这位女记者提问。
好的，谢谢主持人。香港大公文汇传媒集团记者提问：继港车北上、澳车北上之后呢，2025年粤车南下政策落地实施，为粤港澳大湾区融合发展再添新动能。那么想请问发言人，全国政协在助力粤港澳大湾区融合发展、港澳融入国家发展大局方面有没有什么新的履职？有没有一些特色履职开展了哪些新的活动？谢谢。
With 大公文汇, following the northbound travel for Hong Kong and Macau vehicles, in 2025, southbound travel for Guangdong vehicles has also been launched, adding new momentum to the integrated development of the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area. My question is, what are the activities that the CPPCC has carried out to contribute to the development of the Greater Bay Area and to support Hong Kong and Macau in better integrating into the overall development of the country?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question.
2025年
Last year,
粤港澳3地
Guangdong, Hong
同
Kong,
心
and Macau
同
worked
行
together and achieved remarkable progress in integrated development. For the first time, they co-hosted the 15th National Games, took a coordinated approach to common affairs, policies, and regulation across the 3 places, and staged a sporting event that highlighted institutional strength, poured the strength of unity, and showcased the unique character of the Greater Bay Area, called GBA. With the southbound travel for Guangdong vehicles in place, the GBA is embracing a new era of two-way direct cross-boundary transportation. The Guangzhou-Shenzhen-Hong Kong and the Guangzhou-Zhuhai-Macau innovation corridors work together to become the most active factors for innovation in the area. The Shenzhen-Hong Kong-Guangzhou cluster topped the Global Innovation Index. The Macau-Zhuhai cluster made the world's top 100 for 2 years running. The elderly healthcare voucher GBA pilot scheme covers all 9 mainland cities in the GBA. The number of designated medical institutions in the Hong Kong and Macau Medicine and Equipment Connect continues to increase to better guarantee Hong Kong and Macau residents living and working on the mainland. In today's GBA, roads link the 3 places, cities blend into one another, and the hearts beat as one. A world-class Bay Area and globally significant city clusters are emerging rapidly. Last year, the CPPCC National Committee, with a focus on promoting long-term stability and prosperity in Hong Kong and Macau, and their integration into the overall national development, actively offered suggestions for governance, centered around topics like strengthening alignment of rules and mechanisms of the GBA, implementing the outline development plan, developing international tech innovation centers, advancing the integrated development between Hengqin and Macau, and building major cooperation platforms of Hengqin, Qianhai, Nansha, and Hetao. The National Committee has carried out survey and research, subject-specific consultations, and democratic oversight to help boost high-level connectivity across the 3 places, and efficient and easy flow of production factors of all kinds. It also went to campuses to organize report sessions on national conditions, rolled out a special program of learning and practice in Shanghai for young talents from Macau, and actively built platforms of exchange between youth from Hong Kong, Macau, and the mainland. Members from Hong Kong and Macau have played a dual positive role and taken an active part in the GBA's development, supported the SAR governments in delivering their work, and helped strengthen cooperation between Hong Kong, Macau, and the mainland on economy and trade, science and technology, and cultural and people-to-people exchange. This year, the CPPCC National Committee will play an active role in deliberations to offer suggestions on stepping up cooperation between Hong Kong, Macau, and the mainland, supporting Hong Kong and Macau in building pace-setters that bring international high-caliber talents together, and will contribute more to helping Hong Kong and Macau better integrate into and serve the overall national development. Thank you.
由于时间关系啊，我们请发言人回答最后一个问题，请大家提问。好，请中区第2排中间这位穿黑色上衣的女记者提问。
谢谢主持人。发言人您好，我是中国日报记者。过去1年，面对错综复杂的国际形势，中国特色大国外交取得了许多新成就。全国政协对外交网作为国家总体外交的重要组成部分，在服务国家外交大局方面做了哪些工作？谢谢。
With China Daily, over the past year, amid a complex international environment, many new accomplishments have been made in China's major country diplomacy with Chinese characteristics. The CPPCC carries out an important part of China's external work. My question is, what has it done over the past year to contribute to China's diplomacy?
谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question. In today's world, transformations unseen in a century are accelerating. The international landscape is marked by changes and turbulence, and global challenges are becoming more pressing. Against this backdrop, China has committed itself to building a community with a shared future for humanity. implementing the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, the Global Civilization Initiative, and the Global Governance Initiative, advocating high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, and an equal and orderly multipolar world and a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization, and building an open, inclusive, clean, and beautiful world of lasting peace, universal security, and shared prosperity. China is committed to promoting high-quality development and expanding high-standard opening up, benefiting the world while developing itself. And it is the most stable, reliable, and a positive force in the turbulent world. To conduct extensive foreign exchange activities is an important mission of the CPPCC National Committee. Over the past year, guided by Xi Jinping thought on diplomacy, the National Committee has taken a coordinated approach to public diplomacy, people-to-people diplomacy, and think tank diplomacy, and made positive contribution to serving the overall national diplomatic agenda. Members of the Chairperson's Council led delegations to dozens of countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America and the Caribbean. The National Committee also received dozens of delegations of foreign friends visiting China, held the 2025 China Economic and Social Forum, the 20th Sino-EU Roundtable, and invited more than 100 foreign friends to join the Experience the CPPCC events to deepen dialogue and exchange among friends from various sectors and renowned think tank experts. We have had in-depth discussions with friends from other countries on the evolving international situation, win-win cooperation, mutual learning among civilizations, consensus building, and other important issues, and a shared experience on the formulation of 5-year plans for economic and social development, environmental protection, poverty reduction, and women's development. Through exchanges and interactions, we all have given a deeper thought into humanity's future and shared the view that solutions to today's challenges require vision and responsibility. And the important visions and proposals put forth by China have provided guidance and a strong momentum for countries joining hands to build a better world. The CPPCC National Committee will continue strengthening communication with friends from other countries, unleash the power of ideas, build consensus for cooperation, and help build a community with a shared future for humanity. Thank you.
谢谢发言人刘
Thank
杰一
you,
先生，
Mr. Liu
谢
Jieyi,
谢各位记者
and。thank you all the
今
journalists
天
here
的新闻
today.
发
This
布
is
会
the end of
到
today's
此
press
结束，
conference.
各位。